watching this video. I'm very happy to have you here. My name is Leisa. I am an early childhood educator who has worked in the public childcare system and am now running my own family daycare. I am a mother of 4 children who most of them have never been to school. We have unschooled for over 11 years. So what I share in my videos comes from my experience on that path and journey, and also having gone back into the system to test these things out with other children who are not my own. So this video is actually created because it was asked or suggested as a video topic. This is an important topic for me. So I would love to share with you my thoughts and my perspectives on how parents can choose the best daycare center for their child. So I'm actually not going to be speaking to you as a parent who did research different childcare centers and did take my own children to daycare. My experiences with my own children and childcare was I only took my eldest to 2 daycare centers on 2 separate days, so only 2 days all up. Both experiences were not aligned for me or my child. So I never took any of my children to childcare after that. So what I share with you today will come from the things that stood out to me as being important for parents to ask. Important questions they can ask when trying to decide on the best place and the best care for their child. I do want to say that not every parent will want or need to ask these questions. I noticed that some parents, they didn't really have a preference. They just wanted their child in some form of care. They weren't desiring to know. This video is going to be aimed at parents who are looking for a better way, a better experience for their child than what is commonly seen currently in the public childcare system. So here are some important things as a parent that you can ask educators or management of a childcare centre. First and foremost, as parents, you do need to understand that you have the right to ask these questions and state your preferences. You have the right to make requests for your child. I noticed as an educator working in a centre that parents didn't feel that they could do this. They just went along with whatever the educators told them because they were under the impression that the educators knew better, that they knew what was right for their child. So they trusted the educators, they believed the educators, and they didn't give it a second thought. However, as I came in with my approaches that were quite different to a lot of other educators, I noticed that it inspired the parents to have an open mind and to be more willing to ask questions and to help them feel safe in doing so. And I left giving these parents the message that speak up for your child if you need to. Feel empowered to take action if something doesn't feel right, something's not going right, or if you feel your child is unhappy. You have every right to speak up and have a voice for your child and to say, I am not happy with this or that, and I don't feel right about this or that, and what can we do better? With that said, I would like to go into the kinds of things that you as parents can find out and ask and put to childcare centres when looking for the right care for your child. The first thing is you can ask, will my child have an educator who connects with them? The reason that I suggest this is because I have dealt with parents as a lead educator myself. I did have situations where a parent would come to me and tell me they didn't feel that their child had a secure attachment to any of the educators in our room. So this really opened me up to acknowledging that this is a very important thing to request, that this effort be made to make a secure attachment to their child. The next thing, will my child have some choice throughout their day? This is important if you are a parent who does feel and aligns with your child having autonomy and choice over their body and their food and their sleep. So you can ask your child's educator or the supervisor or even the owner, you can ask, how much choice will my child have throughout the day? Will they be forced to eat when they're not hungry? Will they be forced to sleep if they're not tired? And can they sleep or eat when their body tells them to? This is very important in helping children to develop self-regulation skills, because to do that, they need to not have too much outside authority directing their bodies and their day. They need to learn to be in tune with their own inner voice and guidance system. Another thing to ask is, will there be a quiet, secluded area for my child to get away from the other children if needed? So as an educator myself, in a room with 22 to 23 children in a day, it was quite difficult. We were all crammed in one room, especially during rest time when we all had to come indoors. There wasn't really any areas. We could create some quiet areas, but I feel like there really needs to be defined separate areas or sections of that room where a child can go if they need to get away from the noise. Often I would have to remove children and take them outside and sit with them because the noise and behaviors of the other children was so overwhelming for their nervous system. This wasn't ideal because sometimes it was very hot or very cold. So if you feel that it's important to you that your child get the quiet solitude that they need, you can request this. You can ask questions like, if my child doesn't want to be outside when all the children are, Will there be an educator that can be inside with them? And vice versa. If all the children are inside during doing activities, will there be options available for them to go outside and play? Will the group be able to be split into smaller groups? This looked like indoor-outdoor play for my room when I worked in the centre, and I found that it really helped reduce the behaviour issues and overwhelm in some of the children. Another very important thing that you can ask when choosing a daycare centre for your child: does the management staff, the nominated supervisor, the director, or the owner have direct experience working in the rooms with the children? The reason this is a good thing to ask is because I feel that everybody needs to try to be on the same page with the children. It can be difficult when so many educators all have such extremely different views and perspectives. Sometimes those other educators are going to have to step in and be with your child. And if they are used to a more free, relaxed, flexible routine, and then an educator who doesn't align with that comes in and tries to manage the children in a more authoritarian way, this is going to cause conflict and confusion in the children. Also, when having meetings with management about issues you might have, they are not going to be able to relate as well if they have not spent time directly with your child and seen their behaviours and gotten to know that child and the routine of the room that they are in. So that could be an important thing to ask of when you are trying to find a good centre. Another important thing to ask is, will my child have access to a comforter if they need it? Some children, no matter the age, are used to having a comforter like a dummy or a blanket or something that they have access to at home, and they should be allowed to bring that to daycare with them. If you are a parent and you want to wean your child, you can definitely ask the educator to support that. However, if you are a parent who wants to know that your child can have that dummy if they cry or when they go to sleep, it's important to request or ask if that's going to be okay. This is because some educators do have very strong beliefs about comforters not being allowed or needed. Some educators have a strong view that children should be grown out of these things by a certain time. And it's very important as the parent of your child that if you want this to occur naturally or progressively over time, that you ask if that childcare centre can support that for your child. You can also ask, will my child be able to develop their toilet readiness at their own pace? A lot of educators do try to force toilet training, and sometimes this is because it is at the parent's request. However, I noticed there were a lot of children that I worked with who weren't ready, and it could be quite traumatic for them when educators would try to force them to use the toilet when they weren't ready. So if you are a parent who doesn't believe in forcing toilet training and you are happy for your child to show signs of being ready before they are made, you can definitely ask if this is something that can be supported for your child. And the last thing I'd like to share that you can ask when choosing the right centre for your child is, will I be informed of any behaviour in my child or behaviours from other children that directly affect my child? As a parent, you have a right to know the routines, behaviours, needs, and expression that your child is displaying throughout the day at daycare. If you are unable to care for your own child during the day and you are relying on a daycare centre to help with this, it's okay that you want to be in the know of everything that's going on. So you can ask, if my child has a hard day and is crying a lot for me, and if you want to be notified, whether it's during the day through a phone call or when you pick your child up, you can certainly ask for this. You can ask to be notified. If your child was extra sensitive or emotional during the day, or was very angry and had a lot of meltdowns, or attacked other children, or were attacked by other children. I hope this video has helped. If I did leave anything out, you are welcome to add that in the comments, and I will be sure to address the question in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.